Always well developed on superheroes, the serratus anterior lies along the posterior and lateral rib cage. Its oblique fibers extend from the ribs underneath the scapula to attach at the medial border. Most of the serratus anterior is deep to the scapula, latissimus dorsi, or pectoralis major. However, the portion of the serratus below the axilla, or armpit, is superficial and accessible.
Okay, let's begin by seeing the serratus anterior in action. I'm going to ask my partner to just bring his arm up, and I'm going to give him a little resistance and ask him to press his hand toward the ceiling. Great. Now, as his scapula is abducting around the thorax, we can see right there a great example of that portion of serratus anterior that engages and is superficial. Right here, all of those bellies. And there's that edge of the latissimus dorsi, there's the bottom edge of the pectoralis major, and right there, while he's contracting, I'll just take advantage of it and palpate it a little bit. There's those bellies of the serratus anterior that are attaching here on the rib cage. And then next to it, interdigitating with the serratus, is the external oblique. Good, and relax. So, we can just set our hand right here, it sort of naturally fits, right in this space, and roll our fingers across some of that superficial tissue of the serratus. Now, how do I know that I'm not feeling the ribs? Because the serratus fibers are parallel with the ribs. Well, let's realize that the serratus anterior is superficial, it is muscle tissue, so it has fibers, it's striated, and that the ribs are deeper and, well, bone, so they're hard and they don't move. And there's the ribs underneath. But that's a great portion of the serratus you can really get your fingers on, even as I work my way underneath the lad. Now, I'm going to ask my partner to turn on his side toward me, and there's another portion of the serratus we can try to access, which is right here underneath that medial border of the scapula. So I'm just going to try to work my hand in underneath this medial border to find that attachment site of the serratus. Now, of course, I'm going to be going through the middle fibers of the trapezius and the rhomboids, but if there's enough flexibility, like right there, I'm definitely going to sink my fingers onto that area where the serratus attaches. So the serratus isn't fully accessible, but those are just some portions that you can really get your hands on.